But first, the Provost Umphrey law firm has recently announced its effort to take a leading role in pursuing women's health-related issues, including dangerous drugs and product recalls. Joining us now to explain some of the action being pursued and how you can get your concerns related to these cases addressed is attorney Christopher Kirchmer. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's nice to be here, Jackie.
We've had the pleasure of having you on once before.
You have, and I think I mentioned at that time that our firm was making a concentrated effort to focus on women's health issues and cases arising out of those issues. We've noticed over the last 3 or 4 years that there's really been a run on product recalls and other dangerous products and drugs in the women's health arena that have needed action, and we've sort of tried to step into that void. All
right, well, let's talk about those in particular, some of the products, including, let's start off with Transvaginal Mesh.
Yes, ma'am. Transvaginal Mesh is a device, it's a mesh that's inserted by physicians to help women with pelvic organ prolapse, and some women have stress urinary incontinence as well. And those two issues can both be addressed by, some people call them vaginal slings or transvaginal mesh. And these devices are designed to offer support to the vaginal walls so that when the pelvic organs begin to push into those areas, many times due to childbirth and the stretching of the muscles in that area, these products are designed to help in those situations so that those walls are strengthened and the organs can stay in place. What we've seen through the studies over the last few years is that a particular type of these meshes or these slings that are being used creates some unforeseen problems, some problems that the drug companies, or I should probably say the device companies, didn't warn about.
Didn't warn about.
Didn't warn about. There weren't, in fact, studies done before these transvaginal mesh products hit the market that would have revealed these problems. And unfortunately, because of the lack of studies, these problems weren't warned about. And as a result, tens of thousands of women every year have these devices implanted, and as it turns out, they create a lot of pretty significant problems. Those problems include increased urinary incontinence. They include erosion into other organs in the area. They include pain with intimate relations. And the tragic part about the whole thing is that it's not a device that you can just take out. The device is designed so that the tissues in the abdominal area actually grow into the mesh. And so if it turns out that you're one of the unfortunate women that has these terrific problems as a result of the implantation of the mesh, it's virtually impossible for a doctor to completely remove the mesh. So the problems can continue for years and for a lifetime.
You're also looking at Mirena, which was a popular birth control device.
That's right. Mirena is an IUD, or an intrauterine device, generally given to women to prevent pregnancy. There are some instances where doctors used it for other reasons. The device is uniquely dangerous in its ability to migrate within the uterus. You know, an IUD is a T-shaped device that sits in the uterine area and helps to prevent pregnancy. In this particular case, the device is known to be prone to move within the uterus, and as a result, at times to press into or even puncture the uterine lining or the uterine wall. If that happens, the device can then grow in and become incorporated into the uterine tissue, and that requires surgical removal, which can be a big problem. And in some instances, we've seen cases where it's required a complete hysterectomy.
Oh my goodness!
And this is particularly significant because many of the women who are prescribed the Mirena device are women in the post-first baby age group, right, if that makes sense. Many women, after they have their first child, are breastfeeding. They don't want to go back on the pill.
So these are still young women.
Young women. And so they're given, they're recommended an IUD, and often given the Mirena IUD. And, you know, in a woman like that, if she has to have a hysterectomy as a result of some of these problems, she could well lose her opportunity to have additional
children. Yes. We're just about out of time. So what are the steps that need to be taken if a a woman is experiencing any of these problems?
Sure. You know, I think, as always, the first thing you do when you have a health-related problem is you see a doctor. You've got to go see your doctor and visit with him about that, or her. And, you know, if it turns out that the problems are, in fact, related to one of these devices, I think it's a good idea to talk to somebody about that. You know, our firm is well situated to do that. We handle our own cases. We don't refer them out. And we have the resources and the lawyers to take care of it. So we'd be happy to talk to anybody that's got questions of the legal nature.
Very good. Christopher Kirchmer of the Provost Umphrey Law Firm. We appreciate your legal advice.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next, your invitation to a Mardi Gras.